What's up, y'all? Fitz here again, checking in, and I'm documenting my journey on my path to growing a wholesale business, real estate wholesale business, to $500,000 per month. So I'll come on here and I'll give you guys updates on my journey, and sometimes I'll just drop a few gems that I think might help people understand this industry or help understand, their organization better. So this video today, I want to talk to you guys real quickly about the numbers and how wholesale and real estate is really, like, when it boils down to like its bare bone structure, it's all numbers. It all comes back to numbers, and I'm going to explain to you what I mean by that. Most wholesale businesses fail because they don't have enough leads. If you don't have enough leads, that means you aren't talking to enough people. And if you aren't talking to enough people, that means you aren't making offers, because the only way to make an offer is to talk to somebody, a good offer. And if you aren't making any offers, you aren't getting any contracts. If you don't have any contracts, you don't have any closings. So we see how it all goes back to leads, and it's all in each one of those numbers. Each one of those figures I just described was a number that needs to be paid very close attention to. So if you're in a wholesale business and you're not getting leads every day, for one, that's a big problem. That's literally like having a body without water going into it. It won't operate for very long. So the better you are at generating leads, like, figure out how you can generate leads, and then figure out how many of those leads, because depending on which marketing channel you use, whether it's PPC, SMS, cold calling, depending on which marketing channel you use, your lead to contract ratio, which is one of the most important metrics you can track. And what I mean by that is, how many leads does it typically take you before you actually get a signed contract? So for us, it's between 10 and 15 leads in order to get a contract. So we know, in order for us to grow, we can reverse engineer that at that point, right? So let's say we have a 70% close rate, meaning that out of every 10 contracts, we'll actually close 7 of them. If we have a 70% close rate and we have a target goal of, let's say, $50,000 a month, right? And our average wholesale deal size, which again is a number that we have to track, it's all numbers. If you aren't tracking your numbers, you so far behind the curve, it don't make sense. And you should really start tracking your numbers from the very beginning. Don't wait until, I've closed a few deals. Get in the habit of tracking your numbers. So for example, if I want to make $50,000 a month and my average deal size is $25,000, that means I need to get at least 3 contracts, because I have a 70% close rate. I got a 70% close rate. So that means 3 contracts. If it costs me, and I like to be conservative, so instead of mentally masturbating and saying, all right, I'll get all of my contracts within 10 leads. No, I'm going to be conservative, and I'm going to, prepare to spend money on, I'm going to prepare mentally that it's going to take me 15 leads until we can consistently do it lower than that. I'm going to mentally prepare for having 15 leads to come through before we get a contract. So if I need to get 3 contracts and each one is 15, that means I need to pay for 45 leads. Once again, it all comes back to numbers. So now, and again, just to kind of preface it, because I don't want you guys to, mistake what I'm saying here. because 45 leads is a very low amount of leads to get 2 contracts. But the reason why it can be so low is because our leads are coming from Google Ads, which are probably the most motivated lead group you can target. If you're doing SMS or cold calling, it's going to be significantly higher. It's probably going to be about triple those numbers. So if I need to get 3 contracts a month in order to make 50 grand, and I need to have 45 leads, I can reverse engineer that. I can say, okay, well, let's say it costs me an average of $100 per lead. So now I know in order to make 50 grand, I need to spend $4,500 in marketing, because $4,500 is going to give me 45 leads. And if I can get 3 to 4 contracts out of those 45 leads, and my average deal size is 25 grand, I just got my 50 grand. So that's why the numbers are super important. The reason why most of these wholesale businesses are failing is because they don't have enough leads, and they don't know how many need. More importantly, they don't know how many leads they need. When I was sending SMS, when I was sending text messages, I would need approximately 100 leads in order to get 1 deal. Because for every 100 leads, I could make approximately 20 qualified offers. On those 20 qualified offers, I could expect to close 1 deal. Every 100 SMS leads, I could expect to close 1 deal. So I could know for sure that if I spent 1 month texting and I sent out 10,000 text messages and I got a 1% response rate, not even a 1% response rate, a 1%, and I generated 1% of those to be quality leads, that would be 100. Out of those 100 leads, if I made offers on 20, if 20% of those were eligible for an offer, and I made those offers, whatever percent one is of 20 is what I could expect to actually be a contract that I could go and make some money off of. So whatever your numbers are, figure it out. It'll take you a second, unless you actually have somebody who's actually in the field using that same lead source, whether it's cold call, SMS, PPC. Figure out what target numbers you need to hit in order to reach your monthly financial goals. And once you understand those numbers, this business is very scalable. You can turn the marketing up, you can turn the marketing down. And obviously, a whole nother conversation is, okay, are you equipped enough, or are you equipped well enough to have those, those sales calls or conduct those sales visits, however you have your business structured, to actually close the deal? Because getting the leads is one thing. Obviously, that's the biggest hurdle, right? Which is most important, because even if you suck at sales, but you're great at generating leads, guess what? A great salesperson probably sucks at lead gen too. So now you guys can partner. You can generate the leads, and you're going to attract great salespeople because you have food for them to eat. A great salesperson just needs leads. That's it. They know the importance of being on the phone. They want to be on the phone. They want to be in front of the potential, prospect, and they want a shot at closing that deal. That's one of the best ways to build a team, in my opinion, because when you have a good amount of leads, you have so much leverage in every aspect of your business. You have leverage with who you hire. You have leverage to mess up, because if you got an abundance of leads, you're not tripping. Oh man, I only got 10 leads or whatever, and I got to get 1 deal. Where if you have an abundance of leads, you can afford to mess up a little bit. You don't want to, but if that's how your learning curve has to be, it's fine. So if I was just starting out in wholesaling, And I'm telling you exactly what I did actually. I cracked the lead code. I figured out how to get leads so many different ways. We'll never not have leads. One way or another, we will have some leads. We will have some leads because that was my biggest issue last time. And you don't make the same mistakes twice. When I wholesaled back in 2013 through 2016, and it took me a year to get my first deal, when I figured out direct mail, I was like, you know what? This is great, but it still sucks because I need to find out how to get more leads every single day. So this time around, I figured out how to get leads every single day, regardless of if it feels good or regardless of if it's convenient, regardless of how much work it takes. Some lead sources, some lead generation techniques, cost more than others. And typically the ones that are most convenient are going to cost more. The ones that are least convenient are going to be, much less expensive, but it's going to require a whole lot of your time. But the key is having those options, that versatility, so that again, worst case scenario, you always have leads. And whichever route you go, again, track those metrics. Figure out, okay, cool. It took me 100 phone calls to get, it took me 100 phone calls from my AI generated list to get, one lead. Or maybe it took me 30 phone calls from my AI generated list, because those are our numbers. Maybe it took me 30 phone calls to get one lead. And then, it took me, maybe 30 of those leads to get one contract. Whatever those numbers are, again, you want to track them so that you can reverse engineer it, because then it just becomes, like I said at the beginning of this call or the beginning of this video, it just becomes a numbers game. Because if you can reverse engineer the numbers, all you're doing is either magnifying the money that you put into that machine to generate the leads, or you're magnifying the effort that you're putting out to generating those leads, depending on which strategy you're using, whether you're using money or whether you're using time to generate leads. At least you have those metrics to know, because one of the biggest issues that I see, another big issue, is people not having daily performance targets. How do you know if you're performing well if you don't have any metrics to judge yourself off of? My sales team, guess what? They got to make 60 calls a day. The only way they can avoid making 60 calls a day is if they make 3 offers. If they miss an offer, guess what? They make 20 calls. If they miss 2 offers, guess what? They make 40 calls. If they miss 3 offers, guess what? They make 60 calls. I prefer them to make 3 offers than 60 calls, to be honest. If you can get those offers out without making 60 calls, by all means, do that. You know what else their daily performance metric is? The most important one? I want you to try to get 1 contract a day. That's why I want you to make those 3 offers. Because you make 3 offers on the type of leads that we get, you should get at least 1 contract. So you make 3 offers to get 1 contract, or you make 20 calls per missed offer. Because on those 20 calls, your goal is to go and find somebody else who you can make an offer to. You understand? So know your numbers. Once you know your numbers, you can reverse engineer it. And I'm going to leave you with this. Don't get confused or don't get lost in the sauce with all of these different marketing techniques, marketing channels. Pick one channel that you can do, master it, and it only takes one channel to make $1 million. It only takes one channel to make $1 million. It don't take a whole bunch of channels to make $1 million. It only takes one channel to make $1 million. My team is calling me right now. I got to take this call. Hope y'all got some value from that. Again, I suck at content, so my content gonna be kind of rough. I'm out here in the field. I don't make content for a living. I wholesale for a living. And I'm just trying to bless y'all with some of the gems I have and, some real life experiences from, my journey. that you guys can hopefully learn from. So hopefully you got some value from this. Leave a comment below. Follow my Instagram. I also have a free community for you guys to come in and ask questions, connect with each other, and we're actually opening up a role play element to that community as well, so that you can prepare to be good on the phone. You can actually prepare to be good on the phone and have confidence going on the phone. And I feel confident that we've sourced the best sales script in the industry. A lot of these folks don't even have real sales scripts. They don't have real sales processes, none of that. So, and you practice how you play. So you practice hard, you're going to play hard. Anyway, that's why that community is important. It should be a link below this video. Y'all can tap into that community. It's free. The role playing part is not open yet, but the general community to come ask questions, that's free. Is much better, because I'm getting a lot of questions under my YouTube videos. It's just much better if we can just take it to another platform, and that way other people can easily find the answers and stuff. So I'm not answering the same question 1,000 times. I appreciate you guys for tuning in, and I hope you guys have an amazing week. I hope you guys are wholesaling a lot of deals, and yeah, peace out.